to all of you. In this class, I am going to start with another important topic of chapter Molecular Basis of Inheritance, and the topic is eukaryotic transcription. In the eukaryotic transcription is quite different from the prokaryotic transcription because of the polycistronic genome of prokaryotes or the eukaryotes have the monocistronic gene. That means the small segment present of DNA are responsible for only one type of synthesis of one type of protein, whereas the genome which are present in the prokaryotes that are responsible for the more than one type of protein. So that's why they are the genome of prokaryotes are known as polycistronic gene. Due to this reason, there is no need for capping, telling, or also there is no need for splicing. But in the eukaryotic transcription, the two phenomena takes place: capping and telling of RNA, and the second is splicing of RNA. Splicing of RNA. In the capping, both these are also known as processing of mRNA. In the eukaryotic transcription involves, because there are some introns, as we discussed in previous class, the introns that interrupt with exons, or the introns generally do not take part in the protein synthesis. So in the mature mRNA, there is need for cutting out all these introns from the mature mRNA. Due to this reason, the splicing takes place, and for securing both the end of the RNA, because both the end of RNA is more reactive towards its own hydroxyl group, or phosphate group is more reactive towards its own hydroxyl group, or due to this reason, because as we already know in the characteristic of RNA shows the less stable biomolecule, less stable molecule due to the presence of 2' hydroxyl group. That's why these are known as ribose nucleic acid, whereas DNA is known as deoxyribose nucleic acid because of the absence of 2' hydroxyl group. Now they are less stable. Also, they shows the catalytic behavior. Also shows the catalytic behavior, less stable, reactive in nature. Sometimes they also perform the catalyst or function as enzyme to perform or enhance the reaction, or that's why due to this reason both the ends of RNA are more reactive towards the other substances, or as well as its own 2' hydroxyl group. If the 5' phosphate group attacks on its own hydroxyl group present on 2' region, so that make mRNA distorted, so that the mRNA become distorted in structure or unstable, cause the mRNA less stable. The structure of mRNA get changed after the addition of its own phosphate to its own 2' hydroxyl group, or they perform as a catalyst. So that's why whenever the lead of transfer after the synthesis of mRNA, because they undergoes in the translation, there is need for transfer of these mRNA from the nucleus to the cytoplasm. So the difference, or because some distance traveled by the mRNA, or due to the distance covered by mRNA, there are so many substances which can react to the mRNA molecule. So for proper transferring of this mRNA, there is need for the capping and telling process. So let us discuss about the processing of mRNA. In the processing of mRNA or eukaryotic transcription, the eukaryotic transcription quite differ by these two methods from the prokaryotes. Let us discuss about the first process, or also said to be capping and tanning of RNA. In the capping and tanning of mRNA, simply capping when they after the synthesis of some nucleotide on the mRNA molecule, after the synthesis of 8 to 9 nucleotide on mRNA molecule, the 5 prime phosphate group capping occur on the 5 prime phosphate group, because the 5 prime phosphate group function as a electrophile or mRNA. In the nucleotide mRNA, the pentose sugar have the 2 prime hydroxyl group which hang towards the outside, or here is also the hydroxyl group or hydroxyl group, for example. So they show as a nucleophile. The hydroxyl group shown on mRNA function as nucleophile, whereas phosphate group function as electrophile, or also said to be positive negative interaction created by the phosphate and the hydroxyl group. Due to this reason, the phosphate group bind its own chain hydroxyl group, or that makes mRNA to less stable or distorted in structure. For decreasing this phenomena, or for securing the end of 5 prime end of mRNA, so that they are not able to react its own 2 prime hydroxyl group, the capping is needed or the enzyme involved in the capping process. This enzyme is known as 7-guanosine. The enzyme involved in the capping process is 7-methyl-guanine transferase. 7-methyl-guanine transferase. 7-methyl-guanine transferase. So 7-methyl-guanine transferase help in the transfer of 7-methyl-guanine or guanosine to the 5 prime end of the mRNA, so that they secure, due to the presence of methyl group, the 5 prime end become less reactive as compared to the previous, or in the absence of 7-methyl-guanine, or they decrease the affinity towards the 2 prime hydroxyl group, or decrease the reactivity of 5 prime end of the mRNA towards the 2 prime hydroxyl group. So that's why there is a need for the capping to decrease the reactivity, to decrease the catalytic behavior of the mRNA, or to secure both the end of mRNA. So 7-methyl-guanine transferase only used in the capping process. So the mRNA after this enzyme, finally the methyl-guanosine triphosphate added to the 5 prime end of the mRNA to secure the end of mRNA. This is also said to be processing of mRNA, or after the synthesis of 8 to 9 nucleotide, the end is hanging towards the outside of the DNA, or passes the hybrid of RNA and DNA. So, and the 5 prime end is more reactive towards the 2 prime hydroxyl group. So there is need for the capping of this 5 prime end with the help of enzyme 7-methyl-guanine transferase, or due to this enzyme, finally the 7-methyl-guanosine triphosphate added to the 5 prime end of the mRNA to secure the end of mRNA, or due to the addition of methyl guanosine triphosphate, the 5' end of group become less reactive or become less shows the less catalytic behavior. Now the end is secure. Finally, when the RNA polymerase second reaches up to the terminator region, finally tailing is involved. There is addition of adenine more than approximately 200 or more than 200 adenine added to the at the terminal region. Also, that's why the tailing process is done, or for securing the 3' end of the mRNA. Is tailing of mRNA. After the synthesis of whole strand of mRNA, when the RNA polymerase reaches up to the terminator region, with the help of poly A polymerase, with the help of these enzymes, finally the RNA on the RNA strand, after the addition of capping or after the synthesis of genetic sequence or after the transcription takes place, the mRNA synthesized from the DNA molecule, or the DNA sequence get transferred on the mRNA molecule and have the code from the DNA molecule. So after the synthesis process or after the whole transcription done on the mRNA molecule, finally the poly A polymerase add polyadenylation approximately 200 adenine bind or present at the tail region, so that for securing whole the RNA or mRNA which have the genetic sequence or which has the genetic sequences. Now, after the addition of polyadenine at the 3' end, finally, because the 3' end have the hydroxyl group, 3' hydroxyl group, which is more reactive, so that's why the addition of poly A or addition of polyadenine takes place, adenosine takes place at the region of 3' end of the mRNA, because of securing or decreasing the reactivity of 3' hydroxyl group, because they are more reactive towards the any other electrophile. So at the 5' region, we have already know 7-methyl guanosine triphosphate added at the 5' region to secure or to secure the end of the mRNA, which is present because the 5' phosphate group is more reactive towards the 2' hydroxyl group also, which is present at the DNA molecule. So decreasing the affinity towards the 2' hydroxyl group, the capping takes place. In the capping, there is addition of 7-methyl guanosine at the 5' position, or 7-methyl guanosine triphosphate at the 5' position, whereas 3' hydroxyl group is also more reactive. So after the synthesis of whole strand or after the synthesis of or transcription takes place, finally the poly, also said to be this, the short name of poly A polymerase is PAP. So PAP, with the help of PAP, finally after the dissociation of this mRNA strand, finally polyadenosine added at this triphosphate added come to bind with the 3' end of the mRNA to secure the 3' end of mRNA, so that this is the important phenomena or processing process in the eukaryotic transcription where the polyadenylation takes place or tailing takes place in the mRNA molecule. Now next step is the splicing step. So that is the quite differ from the prokaryotic transcription where all the genes are important to synthesize the protein molecule. No any genetic sequence have to cut out from the mRNA molecule, but in the eukaryotic sequence, because the eukaryotic DNA have so many sequences or repetitive sequences, or they are also transcribed on the mRNA, or they mainly form the intron region that interrupt with the exon region, or but the exon are the sequences which undergoes in the translation process to synthesize the protein molecule. But if the introns are not cut on the mRNA molecule, or they as such present on the mature mRNA, or there is no splicing takes place in eukaryote, so the protein synthesized from that particular mRNA will be in discontinuous manner. That is, small fragments of protein get synthesized from the mRNA molecule. For example, because as we already know, after the synthesis of eukaryotic, here is eukaryotic mRNA. The eukaryotic mRNA have the different region. Here is exon, then intron, then again exon and intron. Intron. Now because intron interrupt or intron present in between the exon, if the protein synthesized, because intron do not participate or do not take part in the synthesis of protein. So a small segment of exon synthesize only a small fragment of protein. Similarly, here is also synthesized small fragment of protein. The synthesized do not form completely. The protein synthesis from the mRNA, this type of mRNA do not form completely because they are interrupted by intron, or intron do not synthesize any type of protein. So that's why there is need for cutting out these introns present on the mRNA sequences to form the continuous or to prepare a continuous mRNA which have the continuous exons or the sequences which are responsible for the protein synthesis. So that's why the splicing takes place. Now the second step or second phenomena of processing is splicing. During the splicing, because splicing is a eukaryotic phenomena, or it is a type of processing where the mRNA synthesized after the splicing is converted into the mature mRNA. So before the splicing, the mRNA is not mature or not undergoes in the protein synthesis. After the maturation or after the splicing, or when the introns are completely removed from the mRNA, they finally get into the they finally undergoes in the translation process. Now the second is splicing. Here is guanosine triphosphate, 7-methyl guanosine triphosphate present on one end. At the 5' end, the capping takes place, and at the 3' end, the polyadenylation done for securing both the end of mRNA. Now this mRNA is completely secured. Here is approximately 200 adenosines are present at the tail of the mRNA. So polyadenylation takes place on the mRNA. But during the splicing, the DNA sequence have consists of the exons and the introns too, so that the genomes or which do not undergoes any type of protein synthesis, they are also transcribed on the mRNA. So there is need for the removal of the introns. There is introns and finally exon, intron. Now what happened with this reason? So here is the mRNA get coiled. The intron region of mRNA get coiled. Here is again exon, then intron get coiled, or in exon intron get coiled, or again exon is present, and here is polyadenylation. Adenylate 10. The tagging is present. Now after the coiling of these introns, there is need for ligation and cutting of the unwanted genome. So unwanted genome, that is spliceosomes, form on the mRNA, and finally ligation of these two exons takes place. All these exons takes place on the mRNA molecule to form the continuous strand of the mRNA. Now here is formation of continuous strand of mRNA after splicing. After splicing of mRNA. So all these spliceosomes removed from the mRNA molecule, also said to be spliceosome or introns. Intron or spliceosome. Removed from the mRNA molecule, or here is 7-methyl guanosine triphosphate and polyadenylate 10 is present. Here is guanosine triphosphate, and here is also polyadenylation 10, and the mature mRNA consists only the exon region. Here is only the exon which are responsible for the protein synthesis. So overall these regions get synthesized from the protein synthesis, undergoes in the protein synthesis. Now these are the important in the protein synthesis process, or after this splicing mechanism, finally the mature mRNA are able to transfer from nucleus to cytoplasm to undergoes in the protein synthesis process. So because of the securing of these two end of the mRNA, and also cutting out all these introns which are generally those which don't have any function in the protein translation or also in translation, or because of this reason they have to cut out from the mature mRNA. So that's why the mRNA undergoes in splicing, or there are enzymes which are responsible for the cutting and the removal of the introns from the mature mRNA. So here is the mature mRNA. Mature mRNA which only have the exon region only for the protein synthesis. Now overall these are the function of the splicing. Now how the enzyme work in the splicing. How the breakdown of bond in between the exon or intron, or how the bond formation in between the exon, both two exon takes place, we can easily understand with the mechanism of GUAG sequence, or also said to be the formation of GUAG ligand. Now the ligand, these how the ligand form or the bond breakdown or making takes place on the intron or exon region of the mRNA. Now here, if how the two introns get added with each other, or exon get added with each other, or intron can be removed from the mRNA molecule. So how this process takes place on the mRNA molecule. Now here is the, for example, here is the exon 1, or here a small portion is intron, or here is exon 2. Now first they get the folded, or this region get fold to form the Larian structure. Intron get fold to form the Larian structure. So here is exon 1 and exon 2. This region is intron. So here is GU sequence, or this is the AG sequence. AG, for example, or adenosine have the 2' hydroxyl group. 2' hydroxyl group. So I make this larger. So introduce in the larger diagram so that you can easily understand with the diagram. So large Larian form by, here is exon first or exon second. Now for example, this region have the AG sequence, which have, because mRNA have the 2' also have the 2' hydroxyl group. 2' hydroxyl group, and here is GU sequence. GU sequence. So the hydroxyl group attack on GU sequence, 2' hydroxyl group attack on GU sequence. So they form the Larian, or get dissociate from the main strand. Here is, for example, 5'. So they show the after the breaking off, when the attack 2' hydroxyl group attack on the guanosine, so they the bond convert, the bond breakdown, phosphodiester bond which is present in between the two nucleotides, guanine and the other one nucleotide, get breaks, and here is the breakdown of two nucleotide. That's why the hydroxyl group dissociate from 3' hydroxyl group get dissociate from the guanosine, or guanosine make a bond with the 2' hydroxyl of the intron, or 2' hydroxyl group of adenine present on the intron region. And here is 2', and here is the 5', and similarly here is 3'. So the again the 5' and 3' phosphodiester bond formation occur in between the 3' hydroxyl group and 5' phosphate group, with the help of ligase enzyme, or involve ATP also, or in case of eukaryotes. So the bond formation takes place in the like this, where the Larian form AG, for example, or guanosine. The bond formation in between the adenosine and guanosine, and intron gets separate from the mRNA molecule, or these two introns, these two exons get attached with each other. So all these takes place like this. Now let us we will discuss the next topic, or next topic in next class, in detail. I hope you like this video, can easily understand with the splicing, with the help of this diagram, the whole splicing mechanism in which the removal of introns, how the removal of introns takes place on the from the mRNA molecule, where the two exons get added with each other with the help of 3' OH, addition of or formation of phosphodiester bond in between the 3' hydroxyl group or 5' phosphate group after the removal of intron region. Or how the intron region, because 2' hydroxyl group is present, so they work as a nucleophile attack on G region, guanosine, or then bond when they attack from here to, so the shifting on bond takes place. So finally the bond shift from guanosine to breakdown of the bond takes place, or that releases the 3' hydroxyl or shows the 3' hydroxyl group. That is also the function as nucleophile, or finally attack on the electrophile, which is a phosphate group. The bond formation, phosphodiester bond formation, takes place on this reason. I hope you like this video. Also keep listening and watching me. So and thank you for listening and watching me.